been selling on Poshmark since 2016, and it was like the stone ages having to share my closet by myself and manually send out offers. It just took so much time, and now I really am never within the Poshmark app, and that is all thanks to PrimeLister. I pay $25 a month for their service, and honestly, you couldn't pay me to get rid of it because it has such a return on investment in order to increase your sales on Poshmark, and also save you so much time because you don't have to do any of that stuff manually that usually you need to do in order to increase sales. So today we're gonna run through all the ins and outs of PrimeLister, what I personally do in order to make sure I'm using the most out of it and getting the sales increase that I want, as well as just dig into all the features so you kind of know exactly how to use it best to your advantage. And also a little bit, if you don't have anything set up, this is exactly what you can do step by step to get everything up and running. I'll be going through everything on my computer here just because I'm recording on my phone, but honestly, I did all this through my phone and I find their mobile app so easy to use, so I kind of recommend just going ahead and doing it through the app. If you are a computer person, they do have a web app too. If you haven't already, you're gonna wanna go ahead and connect your closet, and that is just under My Closet. You'll go ahead and get everything connected. It's pretty self-explanatory, and I have my closet already connected, so just go ahead and follow the steps in order to get that up and running. But let's go ahead and jump to the automation section, because honestly, this is where I live and breathe within PrimeLister, and this is where I personally find the most benefit because I set up all these automations so that I don't have to do any of this stuff within the Poshmark app throughout the day. So let's just go ahead and run through the list of automations that they have, starting from top to bottom. So the first one they have is Smart Activity, and this one's super simple. It's just a toggle on or off. I personally have just the auto activity turned on, and this is really, it just helps like mimic kind of being on the app because the algorithm works where the more that you're on the app, it kind of like pushes you up a little bit more. So it just helps for algorithmic activity to make it seem like you're on the app, and it kind of pushes out your listings a little bit more to people because Poshmark prioritizes active users. The next one is my personal favorite, and that is the sharing. And honestly, this like takes the cake for if you just turn one thing on PrimeLister, it's the sharing, because sharing your closet throughout the day continuously is the thing that helps sales the most, and just getting people to see your items. Even though Poshmark has a new algorithm, what really is not just based off sharing, I still find that shares and again activity throughout the day really gets your items seen. But PrimeLister, when you first just turn this on, it's gonna have it automatically set to, I think, like 500 or a certain amount of shares per hour, and you're gonna see that it has like a max of 9,000 shares per day, and this is just so that you don't get into like share jail and get your account suspended for any reason. It kind of makes it so it's not as like bot-like and somewhat more human-like, even though 9,000 is a lot. You can go ahead and keep this as is. It's not a bad way to start. I personally went a little step deeper, and I don't know if I'll be able to share the exact numbers just because I'd have to click through every single one, but I went ahead and I analyzed my like activity throughout the day, and I decided to switch up my shares throughout the day so that it puts more during active times and less during non-active times. For example, I don't have it turned on for the 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. slot just because when I analyzed my data, it wasn't showing that there was a ton of activity there. A lot of my shares ranges around like 400 to 500 still, that's why you're still fine at that 500 mark, but I just checked in between 11 p.m. and 12 p.m. That's GMT -5, so I don't know what time of day exactly that is, but I have 875 shares for that hour. Underneath that, we have community shares, and again, this one's not super needed, but you're already paying for it, so might as well turn it on. Hard to have the activity throughout the day. I personally have it sharing 2,000 items daily. You can make it however you want, really. I don't see the biggest kind of uptick in sales from this, but again, you have it in the service, so might as well turn this on. Next is relist, which I don't personally have on just because I am so specific about when I'm relisting items, deciding what I want to relist and seeing if I need to change my pricing if it like hasn't been selling. However, I've been getting really lazy, so I think I might turn this on. So kind of let's go through it together because I do really like all the filter and the options they have available on here, because it's not just going to relist any items blindly if you set parameters. So one, you can filter by age, which is highly recommend. You want to make sure that you're not relisting anything under 60 days, since Poshmark is not going to push that as a new listing if it's under 60 days. You can also exclude listings with active offers on it, which I think it automatically has turned on, which is good because if there's an active offer, you might potentially make a sale from that. So I recommend keeping that toggle on, which I would do too. And what's also really cool is you can filter by number of likes and price. So I'll probably look at that. So looking only at the items that are over the 60-day mark if you want to only like list items or relist items that are under a certain price point or over a certain price point or anything like that. I don't know if I'll use this, but if you have specific items that you kind of like don't like to relist or want to relist on your own based off certain of likes or price, then this is a good option to kind of control that. Or if you don't want to relist certain listings at all, you can specify certain listings that you just want to say avoid. I'll just take care of this on my own potentially. So I'm probably gonna turn that on later. But my second favorite automation is the offers to likers. I definitely have this turned on. I find a lot of sales coming from this one. There are so many different filters and variations you can turn on so that the offers being sent out are not just like a blanket statement. You can filter by price, by category, new tag items, and you can even exclude listings. So like, for example, I have 10% turned on and it sends out after 4 minutes. Just, I find that, and this is, I actually got this recommendation from them too, which I really like. They always will give out specific recommendations when you like first sign up and stuff like that. I send it out after 4 minutes because they have found that you don't want to send it out. I think I was having like 10 to 15 minutes, and sometimes that can be too long. Maybe somebody gets off the app or something. So doing it within 4 minutes, it's not like right away in case they buy it, but it's probably more likely that they're on the app, so they'll see a notification. And if they want to counter or accept the offer, then they're there to see it. But I do have some items where I will just like price to sell, and I'm almost kind of like, I don't know, even 10% small, I want to exclude those listings. So I do have specific listings I exclude. It's so easy. You can just go ahead, search for a listing you want to exclude, and then enter that in. Automation is party share. And again, I just have this turned on because why not? It doesn't hurt. I think I have it on the set amount of 250 items in each party and 1,000 items in the evening party. Again, I don't know how much this does, but again, it doesn't hurt, so might as well to keep it turned on. Next ones are return share and return follow. Again, doesn't hurt to turn these on, just click the toggle. Again, probably not gonna do too much increase in sales, but might as well turn it on. Same with the follow the new closets. This one I find a little bit probably better because sometimes when people are just getting on the app, they're more inclined to like follow other people back that are just following them and stuff, versus like older users, they just are never on the app as well, or they might have PrimeLister and it's like, they're not even seeing it. New people are more likely to check out your closet if you're like, check out theirs, you know what I mean? They're just a little bit more curious. The next one is bundle creation, which is my third favorite. I have put in, kind of edited a little bit in order to try to help sales. And I personally will create a bundle for anyone that likes an item. Sometimes I know that can be kind of annoying, but I get a lot of people that just like one item, and my cost is a little bit smaller now. I only have about like 100 items. So I do have it bundled together if they just go ahead and like one item. But what I really like here is you can automatically send a message to them. And this is a message I actually have found to get the most responses from. And it says, let me know if you've been looking for something in particular, just shopping around, happy to help in any way. This isn't like super salesy, just lets them know that like I'm here if they're looking for something. And a lot of times they'll just be like, thank you so much, like shopping for X event, or really like this item, not sure if it's gonna fit. Like, so it kind of just keeps the door open. But sometimes I know like people can come across like too salesy or like have offers or really like push things on them. So this kind of just keeps it nice and lighthearted and letting people know that like, yeah, respond to me if you have any needs. But yeah, I gotten some good messages, and it's really good information and data to hear the responses. If they're looking for something, I'm like, oh, okay, a lot of people have been shopping for wedding guest dresses during this time. I'm going to continue kind of putting that within my closet. You can also go ahead and get a bundle offer sent on this, which I might do based on how many likes. I haven't set this up yet, but I'm gonna set up now for someone puts a bundle together or like something with 2 or more items, because I do have a bundle offer set up on Poshmark, but I have realized with the new app changes, it's not as clear if someone has a bundle offer in place on their closet. So this is a really good way to let people know that you're open to sending a deeper discount if you are having a bigger bundle, because currently right now Poshmark isn't very keen on showing that. So again, I don't have this turned on right now, but when I'm showing the little walkthrough, you'll probably see it turned on, because I think this is a really great option to have with the current changes. And if you feel like you are not too sure how to set things up, you feel like you're not optimizing that right way, really cool. PrimeLister, you'll see at the very top, they have a smart analytics little bar at the top to really help you optimize all these automations. And honestly, like I had said in the beginning, what they have found, and they have so many different profiles and stuff to see what is working. I find that they know their stuff, so you can kind of go ahead, follow through with their recommendations, and it'll help kind of make those sales that you're looking for. That is the bulk of the hands-off option. Again, really the biggest takeaways from PrimeLister is getting this all set up, because once you have it set up, you never really have to open PrimeLister much ever again. You never have to open Poshmark ever again. It saves you so much time. So for $25 a month, it is absolutely such a game changer. But if you do want to be a little bit more like personalized, you want to do things in bulk, you will see the listings page. And from here, you can go ahead and like search and filter your closet, relist items from there, send out offers. But like I said, I think the automations page is a huge way in order to really get things set up so you don't even have to do any of this stuff. In addition to Poshmark, they also have Depop and eBay automation. They're a little bit more simpler. On eBay's, you'll see that they have recreates, so offer to watchers, which is like offer to likers. It's more about getting those newer listings, which are really important for the eBay algorithm, as well as sending those offer outs, which I find also super important. The same goes for Depop. I personally don't really sell on Depop, but it's gonna have the same automation as eBay. I love how simple everything is. If you have any additional questions about how it works, how to get things set up, why I have things set up as I do, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer anything. If you are not signed up with PrimeLister yet and you kind of wanted to use this to kind of see what it looks like, they do have a 7-day free trial, which is amazing. They don't need your credit card. So even if you just want to try it out for 7 days, no strings attached, you can go ahead and do that. And then I do have a code if you want to get 30% off your first month. You can go ahead, I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can go ahead and get that discount. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was super helpful.